is Jade at my new channel, Lilac Dream. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to do a video about my different journals that I'm using and the purposes for each one. This may get a little long, so let's go ahead and jump right in. First of all, I use this little 4x6 grid journal from Pentalic. It's like a travel journal, basically as like an art journal. I used to do Fauxbonichi, and I guess you really could consider it still Fauxbonichi, in the Miguel Ruiz books. And I found that when I was doing that I really liked the grid paper. So I tried to find some smaller in grid, and this is what I came up with. So as you can see, I just kind of basically whatever memories I want to keep, I put here and record. Or if there's a show I'm really loving or anything like that, I'll record in here. This is not something that I do or work in every day. I don't pressure myself to do that anymore. I used to do that with Fauxbonichi, and it eventually became more of a chore than something fun for me, so I stopped doing that, and I only work in this when I absolutely feel like it. Some days I work like on several pages at a time, and some days I don't do anything. So that is a good thing. Don't pressure yourself to try to do something every day. If you're not feeling it, don't do it, because it'll end up becoming not fun for you. And if it's something that is fun, you don't want it to become not fun, I guess I should say. Next, I have this one. It's a Betty Boop journal. I used to collect these when I was younger. I don't know why I've always been drawn to Betty Boop. I've never seen the cartoon or anything like that, but there's something about Betty Boop I've always loved. So I used to collect these little notebooks and journals of Betty Boop, and when I was younger I used to fill them up with letters to God. I don't really do that practice anymore, but I still have some left over, and I'm like, Jade, use up these journals. So basically this one I just use as like my feelings dump. So if I'm feeling some kind of way about anything, whatever, happy, sad, joyful, exuberant, excited, whatever, and I feel like I just need to kind of get it out of my system, I'll write it down in this little notebook. Next is my initial book journal. I got this from Michaels not too long ago. Those who are on my other channel, Lilac Jade, would know if they watched that haul video. I got it. It was like on clearance for like $2 and change. It's got my initial. It is thebomb.com, and it's got nice, even though it's a smaller journal, it's got nice lines, page, like a whole lot of lines instead of like wide ruled lines or whatever. Anyway, I'm using this as my manifestation journal. So basically I just kind of write down what I want my life to look like. And that's basically it. So we'll see what comes into fruition from writing those dreams and goals down in here. And next I have this one. She's a cutie. It's a little Tinkerbell hardback notebook that I've had for years now, like years. And I got this when, you know, when Barnes & Noble has their red dot clearance and everything's like 50 to 75% off. That's when I got this. I actually got another one too. It's still in the packaging. I haven't even opened it yet. Not of this, just Tinkerbell, but it's the one with like all of the fairies from her little story or whatever. Anyway, I currently use this one as my dream journal. I have dreamed pretty much as far back as I can remember, all my life. I remember even as a child, I used to have like nightmares all the time, and my mom would have to come in and comfort me because I'd wake up in a cold sweat. It was crazy. I mean, of course, I don't really have too many nightmares or anything like that anymore. I hardly have any nightmares, actually, but my dreams do get quite interesting. And like I said, they've always been with me. They've always been a part of me. So when my dreams aren't around or I don't remember them or anything, I kind of get concerned. So, because I feel like they are a part of me. If that makes sense. Anyway, so when I'm having dreams or whatever and I remember in the morning, this is the first thing I reach for. I get my pen and my notebook and I write down my dream. I write down the date. So you can learn a lot of things from your dreams. I've even had prophetic dreams before. I don't know. So I always keep a record of my dreams, especially the ones I can remember. And sometimes even if I can only remember like a snatch of it, I'll write that down too, because I never know when that snatch might make me remember more or make me learn something. I don't know. Anyway, that is the purpose of this one. Next, I have this one. And I love this journal. It's probably my favorite one. It's so pretty. I got this as a gift way long time ago when I was a teenager. I have a friend, she's into journaling as well, who I've known since 5th grade. And she got this for me as a birthday gift one year. And I've used it for several different things. Dream journal, letters to God, just kind of a regular journal, writing my feelings, yada, yada, yada. And now, currently, I was going through my stuff and I refound it. And I currently use it as a daydream book. Let me explain. First of all, I want to say this journal is like super racy and super sexy. It's got like all of these racy, sexy quotes throughout the whole thing. And I don't know why I never really noticed them before. Like when I was writing in this thing, I never really noticed that before. But now that I picked it up, re-picked it up and started using it again, I'm like reading these quotes like, what in the... But I love them. Like they are so cool. I'll read you a couple in just a second. Anyway, it's called The Desire Journey. You used to get it at Barnes & Noble. I don't think they sell it anymore. And yeah, so basically what I do is just write down my daydreams. When I was in high school as a teenager, if I was in a class that bored me to tears or the subject matter was just, I knew it already or whatever, I would sit down and like just imagine in my head whatever and write down my daydreams on like a sheet of loose leaf paper. And once I got home, I would like transfer it to a notebook that kind of dedicated to my daydreams. And I gotten out of that. I don't know why, but that's what I use this for now. And it is so fun, guys. Get you a daydream journal. It can be whatever, but it's so fun to think up just whatever in your head that makes you happy and write a story about it. I got a really good story going on right now. So yeah, but anyway, Naughty Naughty Journal. It's called Desire, and in parentheses it says Naughty Naughty if anybody's gonna be looking for it. But I'll show you some of like the quotes in here. Like here's one page, and it says, my slender waist and thighs are exhausted and weak from a night of cloud dancing. And this is by, I hope I'm saying this right, Hwang Oh, 1498 to 1569. Like I said, these are like, the quotes are from like old works or whatever. Here's another page, whatever, and it says, I love your lips when they're wet with wine and red with a wicked desire. This is by Ella Wheeler Wilcox, 1855 to 1919. I love you. And then they actually have like quotes on the top of the actual or bottoms of the actual pages. I'll show you a blank one here. Can you see that? And that one says, I let down my silken hair over my shoulders and open my thighs over my lover. Tell me, is there any part of me that is not lovable? Su Ye, 3rd to 4th century, Song 2. Like, and this is like throughout the whole notebook. They have these, and they're quite interesting. I don't know why I never even bothered to read those before or notice them, but now I know why it's called the Desire Journal. So, yeah. Next, I have this notebook, and this is basically like a vision book. So instead of a vision board like many people use, I decided to put it in a book and kind of break it down into different sections. So like the first one would be personal growth, and that would be kind of like if I wanted to learn something new, like learn editing software or be more knowledgeable about Photoshop, if I want to take a class and do something, or look up some information online about a certain subject and learn more about it, that type of thing. Health and body. Now that I have a new and functioning kidney, I can try and get back to how I used to be, how I used to feel, how my body used to look and stuff like that. So that's kind of what health and body is there for inspiration. Money and career. Again, you know, the whole kidney thing just kind of took me out for a while. It took me out for a few years. So I gotta try to rebuild my life, and so just I have goals for money and career now, and I stuck it in that section. The next section is travel. I definitely want to get out here and see the world. It's a beautiful big world, and there's so much to see. I generally like hot and like tropical places. I probably am not going to be out here trying to be on nobody's mountain. I mean, you got to be a really special person to convince me to get on somebody's mountain, because I don't do cold. But yeah, and then you have love and relationships, and I kind of broke that down even further. So like I might have something in, I have been something in there about like romantic relationships, and then like relationship with friends, and then like of course my relationships with my family and whatnot. So that's in there. And then material things like maybe a car I'd like in my future, or a house, or things of that nature, or even just like I want a bike to help me like with exercising and stuff I used to love to do when I was younger, like ride a bike or whatever. Don't let anybody tell you that wanting material things is bad. It's not. It's human nature. We are here on this earth to better ourselves and want better for ourselves and our families, and it is a-okay to want things, okay? Don't let anybody tell you that it's a bad thing to want things, you know? And the more, I look at it this way, the more you have, the more money you have, the more you can be a blessing to somebody else. So, I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. And lastly, in this book was my gratitude part, and I actually used to do like a little gratitude journaling back here, but I ended up filling it up pretty quickly. So now this one gets used as my gratitude journal. I was reading that book, The Magic, by Rhonda Byrne, same lady who wrote and did the movie The Secret or whatever. And you don't realize how much you take for, even you think you are a grateful person, we don't realize how much we kind of take for granted each day. And so I read through that, and I kind of realized that, yeah, I did just take stuff for granted. Like even just the air we breathe, the sun, the circle of life type situation we got going on. I mean, we really do take a lot for granted in this life, and I'm just trying to be a more grateful person. So I do have this as a gratitude journal, and I just kind of write my gratitude every morning or whatever. And I've learned that, and this is perfectly fine for anybody that does it, but like just listen, like I am grateful for my mom, I'm grateful for my car, I'm grateful for a roof over my head. That's great, but maybe we should take it just a little step further and say like, I am grateful for my mom because she always encourages me and she's always in my corner. Or I am grateful for my car because even though it may be such and such years old, I've never had a major problem with it. It gets me where I need to go and back safely, and yada yada yada. So not only saying I am grateful for, but saying what you're grateful for and why you're grateful for it, kind of enhances that, I should say, and it makes you feel more gratitude when you're writing it that way. So anyway, that is pretty much it for this demonstration, guys, or this video demonstration. I'm silly. Anyway, so if you like this video, I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. And that is pretty much it for me for this video. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.